fire that had been prepared for this purpose. The symbolism of burning Wallace's entrails was not accidental. In medieval thought, the bowels were considered the seat of emotion and compassion. By burning them while he watched, the executioner was symbolically destroying Wallace's humanity, reducing him to something less than human in the eyes of the crowd. The smell of burning flesh and organs filled the air, adding another layer of horror to an already nightmarish scene. Through all of this, Wallace remained conscious, his eyes open and aware, even as his body was systematically destroyed. Some accounts suggest that he continued to speak, though what he said has been lost to history. The executioner's skill lay not just in causing maximum pain, but in keeping the victim alive as long as possible. Death would come as a release, not as the culmination of suffering. Finally, mercifully, the executioner moved to complete his grisly work. Wallace's head was severed with a single stroke of a sharp axe, ending his suffering at last. But even in death, the humiliation continued. The head was held up for the crowd to see, blood still dripping from the severed neck before being set aside for later display. The body was then cut into 4 quarters, each piece held up for the crowd's inspection like cuts of meat in a butcher's shop. The disposal of Wallace's remains was as calculated as his execution. His head was dipped in tar to preserve it and mounted on a spike on London Bridge, where it would remain for years as a warning to anyone who might consider challenging English authority. The 4 quarters of his body were sent to different Scottish cities, Newcastle, Berwick, Stirling and Perth, where they were displayed publicly as reminders of the fate that awaited rebels. This distribution of Wallace's body parts was more than mere brutality. It was a form of political communication. Each piece served as a message to the local population, a physical reminder of English power and the consequences of resistance. The English understood that symbols could be as powerful as armies, and Wallace's dismembered body became a symbol of English dominance over Scotland. The immediate aftermath of Wallace's execution was exactly what Edward the Fun had hoped for. The brutal spectacle had served its purpose. Scottish resistance seemed to crumble in the face of such overwhelming demonstration of English power. Many who had supported Wallace either fled the country or submitted to English rule, calculating that no cause was worth such a horrific death. The execution had successfully transformed a symbol of resistance into a warning against rebellion, but Edward the Fern had